My name is Jamie, and this is the vlog for September 26th. It is about 10:40, probably close to 11 o'clock at night. Get ready to go to bed, so I'm going to keep this brief. Today was a Saturday, so there was coffee and kettlebells in the morning, and I actually worked the Saturday, and unfortunately, it looks like I'm going to be working Saturdays for a while. But I'm going to try to keep them down to working hours before noon. Um, just because I don't want to work my weekends away. I really like spending time with my family. Surprise. And I'm not sure if my husband is going to have weekends free. I do know that my kiddo will be out of school for weekends. So if my husband's not around, babysitting will be an issue, unless I can see everybody at my house. And even then, plopping her in front of a screen for hours is not an adequate solution, in my opinion. Um, you do what you got to do, but I'd rather not. So, anyway, one of my friends today adopted a 6-month-old little boy. So they now have 3 kids, one that's biologically his, one that's biologically hers, and one that's biologically neither of theirs. So they're kind of like the ultimate blended family. Um, it's just kind of cool. And it has its own unique challenges, of course. So, in chatting with him, uh, as an adoptee myself, especially as an infant adoptee, um, I told him the one greatest thing I think my parents did for us, my brother and I, who are not biologically related but adopted into the same family, um, the biggest gift I think they ever gave us was there was no mini me and no mini dad, around our house. We were our own people. And my parents, well, they looked for some sort of reflections in us just out of the curious nature versus nurture thing. They, it was never forced, it was never pushed. It was just like, oh, so and so's adopted this trait. My mother and my brother are incredibly analytical and very well schooled. Their book learning is legit. My mom has more initials after her last name than more people I will ever know. Um, and my brother's incredibly intelligent. I mean, he picks up foreign languages at the drop of a hat. He'll tell you he doesn't. He is lying, or he doesn't realize what a gift it is. Uh, the latter is probably true. Um, but he also has some of our dad's adventurous spirit. You know, loves to travel, um, kind of uh, takes things to a different level when he travels, and really kind of immerses himself in the culture. Is not afraid of making a fool of himself, which is cool. It's something I think a lot of us as Americans miss out on. We want to look cool, or we want to fit in, or we don't want to culturally appropriate, so we don't learn. Like, we put a stop to that. And my brother and my dad never saw it that way, and I appreciate that I don't see it that way either. It's not out of cultural insensitivity, but it's out of curiosity and a spirit of adventure. But getting away from the point. So there was no mini me in our family, like I see so much now. And I don't call my daughter a mini me, and she's not a mini, my husband. She is herself. She will be herself 100%. We will help guide her and keep her safe, but she will be her, the sum of her choices of who she's meant to be, you know, um, and that person can change. It's allowed, you know. Life is all about growth and change. So, yeah, so that was the greatest tip I could ever pass along was they let us be us and kind of discovered who we were along the way and ended up with 2 functional adults. So we made it. And I think we did a pretty good job. No matter what, struggles we had, we knew our parents were there for us. You know, um, I think for a long time, my brother thought there were 2 ways you got babies: out of a mother's belly and out of the adoption agency. I don't know where he thought the babies from the adoption agencies came from, but it was cute. Um, I think I didn't really understand it for a long time, but being a woman, things are a little bit different. And having never been around, like pregnant women. Like my mother was not pregnant after me, you know. In fact, my mother was not pregnant with me. She adopted us. So um, the kiddos, the only biological person I've ever grown up around. And before anyone feels sorry for me about that, I won the parent lottery. Um, and while some adoptees will say, well, that's misplaced gratitude, I'm like, I don't know about that. And you're not going to be able to convince me otherwise, so don't bother commenting if you're watching this. Um, yeah, there's trauma involved. There is. Life is all about trauma and coping mechanisms and learning how to function in this world. And adoptive parents are teaching that. Biological parents are also teaching that, maybe in a different way. But yeah, so kudos to them. And we're looking forward to expanding the house and expanding the family in a couple of years, via the same means. So, anyway, it's getting late. I got to take this tea back to the bedroom. Bye.